Anger can be such an overwhelming emotion. Sometimes when we get angry, we say things that we do not mean. We say the most hurtful things, and we just behave in a way that makes us feel ashamed after. So what do you do when you have communicated poorly out of anger? Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kemi and I'm here to teach you how to communicate like a pro. Today I'm sharing with you how to come back from an outburst, an angry outburst. So you've lost your cool, you've said horrible things and you've performed or you've behaved disgracefully. What do you do next after that? You probably feel like, oh my gosh, that was so embarrassing. But how do you recover from that? How do you ensure that you take advantage of that situation and actually grow as a person? I'm going to share 3 tips with you that I hope you will imbibe and you will practice. Knowing fully well that times of anger are times when we need to exercise the greatest restraint, because there are times when it is most difficult to handle, or it is most difficult to exercise restraint. So what should you do after you've had an angry outburst? Number 1, reflect on it and reflect honestly. How did you get to that point? What happened? What did the other person do to you? But usually it's typical of us to leave the reflection at what the other person did, and we don't ever turn the searchlight inwards. But it's extremely important that you do so. What did you do wrong in that situation? How were you impatient in that situation? What could you have done differently in that situation? It's important for you to reflect internally so that you can see the truth of your actions. Because if you are not honest with yourself, it's just going to happen again. And very soon, it will keep escalating until the consequences are dire. So the first point is for you to reflect honestly and objectively. Don't reflect coming to defend yourself and type out or establish all the reasons why the other party was wrong. Number 2, take ownership of your behavior. As in, stop the blame game. Stop trying to find somebody else who should be responsible for your own actions. You are a grown person, so you are responsible for your actions. So take ownership, admit to yourself, and admit to whoever else you owe an apology that you were wrong. Do not be afraid or do not be too proud to admit it to yourself. Because the truth is, anger is such an ugly emotion, and it can lead you to do things that you would regret eternally. It can lead you to places that you cannot even believe. Places as far as prison. And that's the reality. Prison. There are many people that are in jail today for things that never in their wildest imagination did they assume that it would get that far. But because they allowed anger to rule over them, they took actions that led to terrible consequences. So the earlier you deal with it now, the better. And one of the ways to do that is by taking ownership of it. Admit that you were wrong. Admit to whoever it is that you embarrassed with your conduct that what you did was wrong. There's something that admission does to your mind. It helps you break that anger. But if you continue to justify it, guess what? The anger is just growing stronger and is continuing to take a firm hold on your heart and on your mind. And then finally, create boundaries. You need to now understand what your triggers are. What are the things that happen that cause you to be annoyed? What are the things that happen that when they just cause you to lose your cool? Set boundaries and ensure that you don't get to that point. Push yourself as much as possible that I am not going to allow anything get me to the point of this sort of annoyance again. And it takes a very deliberate action, but you must be very stern with yourself in setting those boundaries, because if you don't set the boundaries, your anger will carry you to somewhere that you don't know and you will not find it amusing at all. I hope you've learned a thing or two today. I wish you the best in managing anger and extreme emotions, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon. Bye.